in India, particularly PAC. Respected colleagues, we had some discussions in the past 1 month that we have to build the capacities of some people from Afghanistan.
What are your rights-based entitlements unless you talk to the people and tell them that these are your rights. So focus in India, for instance, is we realize that we need to focus on the basics. PSC works only for the poor and the disadvantaged. We are not interested in the rich people. So our focus, as I said, is only on the rights-based entitlements. What are they? Stick to the Human Development Index. That is education, health, and livelihood. And in these three things, there is no more powerful tool than the citizen report card and the community scorecard. You go in the government departments down to the last mile, that is sub-district level. I am not familiar with your administrative units. That is where the last mile is the weakest because A, low capacity, B, inadequate governance, C, inadequate oversight. But below the district level, one thing that we found is that when I say low capacity, they were not even aware of what their roles and responsibilities are. When I say inadequate governance, there were very poor standards. And when I say inadequate oversight, there was no effective grievance redress mechanism for the citizen. Okay? Now, so what did we do? The solution we came up with: A, build capacity which is functional. First emphasis I would say is it should be functional. Second, that it should be decentralized. Solution B, this is in addition to the first one. You must prescribe standards, processes, and templates.
So then it depends on people like us, outside the government, who come together to collect information from these beneficiaries to say no. So many people have not received it. There is some problem in the way the money has been spent or utilized. Let us go and explore and understand what happened. So therefore, we require social accountability tools to be able to tackle each of these issues that we see in our daily life. And in India, in the case of social accountability tools, these are some of the methods that we use. So CRC is a user feedback. It's basically always collected from users of a certain service. So if I want to understand more about health, I will go to a patient. I will not go to someone who has not used a primary health care center. I will go to a school, to a mother whose child is in school if I want to understand education better. If I want to understand food security better, I will go to a user who uses fair price shops from where she gets subsidized grains. So the same way is for user feedback to understand for service delivery improvements. And it can be used by both. It can be used by demand side and supply side. By demand side, to demand better services, and service provider to understand where the gaps are and therefore ask for strengthening reform. It's applicable at the local level. It provides a forum for direct and constructive engagement between the user and the provider. It gives an opportunity for joint decision making. It gives immediate feedback to the provider on areas for improvement, and therefore it helps enhance quality, efficiency and effectiveness of service provider, thereby promoting good governance. Basically, this is the essence of a community scorecard, to ensure that there is joint ownership. That is the most important thing, joint decision making and therefore joint ownership of the unit that is used by the users. In terms of socio-cultural differences actually leading different solutions, the same thing happened in this case also. In the case of Tamil Nadu, we were able to build the capacities of the committee members. But in the case of Odisha, we were not able to do that because the women did not want to come out. They were very hesitant to come out. So what we did was, we actually painted walls on public spaces. We have ponds, wherever women congregate, at a well or at a, at a temple. So wherever we found public walls, we painted them with information.
A framework that analyzes the participation of community, where we understood the motivation factor, which is motivation was lacking within the people of the community. So what we did during our CSC exercise, where we have been looking at various charts and we were designing, these charts, how are they going to take. What we did was, we did a prior meeting before this, and this is something that has come as a part of our intervention. When we had understood from CRC 1 that awareness and lack of motivation to attend these meetings is a problem, because of which all this process is going to come into place, we took up the initiative of having meetings. So in 170 schools, before the whole training that takes place of CSC, we did a motivation training.
SHG citizen monitors, what they did was, they ensured that they knew what the complaints were. They escalated that to the food inspector at the taluk level, and he ensured that the fair price shop owner followed the rules and he gave back the change from the next month onward. So after each monitoring visit, there was a progress in the fair price shop.
Now, one major activity that we do here is the association that we have with the Government of Karnataka. We have a 5-year MOU with the Government of Karnataka on analysis of various schemes that they do. Because SDG, you must be familiar about SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals. We have that for all the state governments in India. So we do the SDG analysis. This is one of the activities as part of the smallest partnership that we have with the Government of Karnataka.
In the Public Affairs Index 2016, 17 and 18, we had process, institution and outcome indicators all mixed together. But in 19 and 20, we've taken a very conscious decision to include only outcome indicators. So what we assume is that if the process and the institution are both working efficiently, then it will reflect in the outcome. So in PIE, in 2019, 20 and in 21, all indicators are outcome driven. So there are no process and institution indicators, but we did have them in the model in 2016, 17 and 18.
Start with whatever question you have in mind. Anybody, feel free to raise your hand, ask the question. I will try to answer.
Or in some remote areas of democratic governments, you may find elders or authorities that they use force and they don't listen to the voice of the people. So what are other tools that people can force them in order to listen to their voice?
So, when the government does not respond, a good way for the community, and they need help from civil society organizations to say that if the government doesn't do it, let's do it ourselves. Start with small things. So you're asking for a school, government is not listening to you. So say that, okay, let us build the school ourselves.
Which approach will be useful that we should apply to raise awareness of our community people and change their behavior and belief that they should think this project is our, this money is ours, not money of ours.
You must identify a common problem by which the entire community will benefit. First step. Second step, you will need to work with whatever number of people are willing to volunteer. You don't expect the whole community to volunteer. Whatever number of people volunteer, let them come. With that team, you start working, And the third is, once the results start flowing, you will see that you will generate critical mass.